And you'll notice that in between the rows of teas, there's lots of weeds because in organic farming, weeds are encouraged. So the fertilizers they use are natural, non-pesticides. And this farmland has been growing this tea for close to 60 years. The farmer himself is 80 years old and passed down the tea to his son, who used to be my tennis coach. We're both 50. So he invited me to Taiwan and said, hey, is there something we can do about providing healthy tea to runners? Because he's doing it for tennis players. I said, sure, let's give it a shot. So we went on and sampled something. It's quite a phenomena in Taiwan, which is cold tea. So everyone in Taiwan is drinking organic tea infused in water. And then they infuse it for 18 to up to 18 days. And it's this tea. So this tea is so versatile that you can make iced tea with it, or cold tea, cold brew tea, or hot tea. The reason you can do it cold brew is because it doesn't have pesticides on it. You can't go and buy anything. There's always pesticides, right? So there's no pesticides. So how you make it hot is really simple. You put about, and the rule of thumb is you can like measure it if you want. Okay, here's the secret with single origin tea from tea leaves, is that when you cover the base, just cover the base so you can't see the bottom. And if you want to be a little bit generous, you can top it up a little bit more. This tea, you can steep comfortably up to 10 times. 10 times. Okay. So let's do the first one. The water temperature is about 200 degrees or 203, whatever you're comfortable with.
Is any tea
any tea works in this. It has to be single. It has to be like the tea I'm talking about. You probably don't want to use it with Browse. Whole Foods doesn't even carry this. So that was a very short time, right? That was about 30 seconds. After you steep the tea, open and let it breathe. Let it breathe. So it stops the brewing process. And you can leave it out. Let's say you brew it in the morning and you go out, you come back, you can keep brewing for the full day. You can leave it overnight, just put it in the fridge. But 10 times you can max it out. And then once you're done, you can actually infuse it in like cold water and it'll work. Okay. All right. So everybody who has a cup. All right. Thank you. Try that. Try that.
is this the black tea?
This is the black tea. Black tea is lower elevation generally, and it has a little bit more caffeine. However, this specific black tea is called Ruby 18 Organic. It's very different than just Ruby 18. Ruby 18 Organic is different than Ruby 18, which means because it has no pesticides in its manufacturing farming process, it carries super high concentration of polyphenol and L-theanine. When you combine caffeine and L-theanine together, it's a wonderful stress reduction combination that's able to pass through the blood-brain barrier. So you know how everyone's like, oh, you should have some tea before you go to bed. Well, this type of tea can help you sleep. Granted, you're not drinking like 30 cups. It like calms you a little bit more, right? And in the morning, I still encourage people, we have our habit, right? Like coffee in the morning, fast. But in the afternoon, we kind of want that slow energy. We don't want we zoom up in the afternoon, we crash hard. This is what you drink in the afternoon. Just a little bit at a time, and it'll carry you through. And you'll notice that you have very stable, non-jittery type of energy. And it works magically. Yeah. So we have one steep. You keep the temperature there about 200, That's the second steep. Now the tea leaves are opening, so I'll just count to like 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Once you get to 20, you can just pour it again. You know? See how the color's still there?
What?
It's a beautiful tea. And then you guys can drink. You see, it's not bitter.
No.
This tea isn't bitter. Right? Tea's not bitter. Sweet. If you want bitter tea, if you're like, I want my tea strong. All right, then just leave it in there. It'll be super strong. You can put some milk in it. You can put some honey in it.
Yeah.
It's not how this tea you don't need to drink that way, but everyone's got their own habits. So I do recommend if you're a breakfast tea person, this can be an easy replacement for the English breakfast tea or the Earl Grey tea. It's strong enough.
Yeah.
But if you are a coffee person and you're sick, at some point you're sick of that third, fourth cup. This is it. And you'll notice that the caffeine, although the same, has a completely different effect when you mix it with L-Theanine. I'm not talking about popping a supplement from GNC L-Theanine. I'm talking about natural L-Theanine. It's very unique. So that's the second steep. And then you can see now the tea leaves are starting to open up to its kind of.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't that great?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can get tea like this online, but they're not organic. So what the tea industry is a big industry. And like all big industries, they're going to tell you their tea is really good and all that. But this is single origin. We're out. There's no more. Like the capacity we have is like 10,000 bags and we're done globally. So it's not like this is for eternity, So the price is higher, but it's designed for athletes because athletes need to reduce their inflammation. They're a lot more, they're using their body a bit more frequently. So this is really great to reduce inflammation from ingestion point of view. And then camphor, which is what this is, camphor and menthol, is really good for a topical solution. So the two really work hand in hand to get inflammation down. Now, this is the third pour, and you'll see how big. Isn't that cool? Beautiful, right?
And you're getting all of this from
You're getting one polyphenol.
Yeah.
Polyphenol. So there's two ways to get polyphenol. You can get it also in coffee. You know how there's a new push now, like you should drink your coffee. Now, be careful. There's different types of quality of coffee. So just focus on the quality. If it's good quality, it's good for your gut. Same thing with tea. The tea polyphenol goes into the gut, creates a better environment for the gut biome. And that allows you to kind of have less of the ingestion problems that you would have if you were to just eat, with, if you're drinking like that cocoa or something like that. Okay, so it's a really nice natural way of ingesting polyphenol. The difference between coffee and tea, major difference, L-theanine. Coffee does not have L-theanine. So other types of fruits, the richest thing in L-theanine is pretty much tea. Now, if you go to Whole Foods and they say, oh, I got organic tea, I got all that, you'll see it's like all dust. You will not see all the nutrients been chopped off of it. Yeah, when you chop something off, you lose the nutrient. Like sometimes we buy a loaf of bread. We bring it home and they're like, don't cut the bread, you're going to lose the moisture. Same thing. So this is how this tea is treated. You see how beautiful. Who wants more? See? There you go. So the way you buy this tea and the way you buy this tea is you buy in packages like this. You cut the bag and then you just elevate the tea. You store it in a container. Red tea can last years. Green tea can last 6 months. Leave it there, no problem. Not a problem at all. And what I like to show off with our tea is you can still see the stems. This is not machine cut. Farmers went and picked it. So it's pretty cool from that vantage point. Cool?
Yeah.
Thank you. That was very informative.
This is way better than like taking a pill. So you go to GNC, you buy like a bottle of whatever, polyphenols, L-Theanine, just $40. Supplement is like expensive. You get the same serving around organic from a farmer. All you gotta do is put water in it. Okay, granted, I'm not, growing creatine.
Yeah.
Okay. but I can grow polyphenol and L-Theanine within reason. So this is what I'm advocating. I'm just not saying there's no place for supplements. I'm saying there's a place for natural supplements. And I think tea, specifically athletes tea, is a wonderful place to have that discussion. You'll see when you start drinking and you're like, cup of tea. If you're drinking 70, you get 20 day servings. Each serving per day is up to 10 times, depending on how long you sleep. It's a lot of servings. Where a cup of Starbucks in the morning, it's $3, $4, $5. Of course, you're paying for convenience, etc. etc. I'm not necessarily selling convenience. I'm selling health.
Yeah.
Like if you want really convenient tea, there are 10 ways to get it. You can go to, get Twinnies. You can get tea bags. Tea bag is just chopped off, and the minute you put in, you can steep it once, and it's done. Less polyphenol, less L-Theanine, guaranteed with pesticides. If it writes organic on it, it's rare and far between. You will take taste test. Cool?
Yeah.
Very different tea. So you can't say, if you go to Whole Foods, like, this tea is $9.99. It's got 100 bags in it. Sure, it's got 100 bags of this tea broken up, pounded, machine grounded, losing the polyphenol, losing the L-Theanine, and I can steep it once. For the tea I have here, I can steep today, tomorrow, and the day out. Right? There's a limit. Makes sense? When you're not steeping the tea and you want to stow it away, you can put it in the fridge. If it's during the day, room temperature. Just let it sit. When you're brewing it in your container, let's say you want to look at the tea leaves and you have like a glass bottle, like a ball, like a ball bottle, right? All you have to do is put the tea leaves in, open and strain it. Okay? You can do this twice. So let's say I brew it tonight at 9 p.m. Tomorrow at 9 a.m., I can drink the tea. The polyphenols will be in there. Then I can add more water and wait till the following day. 2 steeps for 1,000 ml, like 1 liter. 1 liter, you can put 6 to 10 grams of tea leaves in it. And you can do a 3rd steep too. That will just be lighter. You understand? So you can use like a ball and then just strain out the tea if you don't like the taste. It's no different than touching spinach when you're drinking. Makes sense? So that's really the easiest way to drink tea. We have a design coming out next year where we have a bottle specifically designed for this. And the difference is we have I'll show you the prototype.
A compartment that keeps the
I'm
leaves.
just going to show you guys the prototype so you have an idea. This is not our favorite design. So it's easier cleaning.
Yeah.
The only caveat, the reason we're redesigning this is so that the tea leaves can expand. This is a little restricted still. So we want the tea leaves to expand. That's what. So now you have a vessel. You can do hot tea and cold tea, right? You can brew it and then you can carry it with you. So what I'm trying to get to is when you're doing cold tea, avoid direct sunlight because the bacteria will form. So if you brew the tea and you want to take it out, put it in your Stanley and you're good. Make sense? Pretty cool, right? So that's the nuance in this little. Thanks. You're awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay.
That's cool.